Hi guys, welcome back. So we've got some big news. The Lions coaching team has been announced. So congratulations to Warren Gatland, Gregor Townsend, Steve Tandy, Robin Mcbride and Neil Jenkins. It's a smaller coaching team, but very well deserved for those guys. Let's go through them and just quickly remind ourselves who's who and what they've done. So first of all, Warren Gatland. He's been coaching for a long time now. Started off with Ireland, of course. A bit of an unceremonious ending to that stint, but he certainly learnt an awful lot. And then he went into his huge stint with Wales, incredibly successful from 07 to 2019. I mean, he was just there for ages, winning loads of Grand Slams, Six Nations, doing well in World Cups. So, no, really got to know the UK players there, the British and Irish players. And of course, he's been involved with the British and Irish Lions for a long time now. Assistant coach in 09 and then a head coach the last two times in 13 and 17 and now again. So as experienced a coach as you can get, whether you like him or not. Very experienced and very successful as well. So let's have a look at Gregor Townsend. Now he's the attack coach. This one was a possibility, but it's been confirmed and that's pretty huge for him. He's been a Lion as a player in 97. I certainly remember watching that. Really exciting player. And then for a few years now, he's been head coach of Scotland, doing really well. Created a real fast, exciting brand of rugby in Scotland. I guess relatively inexperienced as an international coach, but got a few years under his belt. Then Steve Tandy, Scottish defence coach, but he's Welsh. Coached the Ospreys from 2012 to 2018. That's where he got the bulk of his experience. And then he's gone on to coach Scotland from 19 to the present day and has done really well. So possibly a little bit of a surprise there, just because he's only been coaching for a year, but he's been doing really well, so he definitely was on the radar. Robin Mcbride is the forwards coach. And this is really well earned from Robin Mcbride. He's coached Wales from 06 to 19. A huge amount of experience with Warren Gatland. Gatland knows him inside out. I think it's a really good pairing. And now he's moved on to Leinster, which is like a mini international side anyway. So he'll have knowledge of those Leinster players as well, which will really help. So I think that's a smart appointment. I think he's going to do absolutely great. It's a huge task, of course, to coach the forwards on the Lions, especially when you're playing South Africa. But he's certainly up for the fight, I think. And then finally, we've got Neil Jenkins. And Neil Jenkins has been twice on tour as a player and twice as a coach, been to South Africa both times, so loads of Lions experience, and of course that huge experience coaching Wales as well, so he will slot in very nicely. So here's the thing, guys. What are the 5 areas that I think we can read into slightly? The 5 implications, if you like. Well, first of all, could this mark a change of style potentially? It's more likely they're going to change style, but certainly not definite. I mean, Gregor Townsend's got an attacking style with Scotland, but deep down, is he actually a pragmatist? They've certainly said that he's fallen out with Russell because he wanted Russell to stick to the systems more, the patterns of play, and Russell wanted to play more off the cuff potentially, a bit less kicking. So I don't know, that's an interesting one. It's certainly, I'd say, more likely than if it was a different attack coach. But I'm not sure Townsend is as expansive as we think he is, potentially. It's just he thinks that's the best style of play for Scotland with the players he's got. Traditionally, Gatland and the Lions, or Gatland under the Lions, will build a game around the set-piece game, the kicking game, the defence game. Quite heavy basics. But could they move back to the more McGeechan style of play against South Africa where they were really trying to move the ball and offload? So that's an interesting one. I'd say it's more likely a change of style, but not definite, not at all. Point 2, Townsend and Tandy, obviously Scotland coaches, so are we going to see more Scots? Well, I think we probably will actually now, because they're going to be pushing their players forward to Gatland because they know them so well, plus they've been playing well. However, Gatland does have the final say. But, if it's a fight off against someone like a Ritchie versus Navidi, or they say, well, we can only take one of Van der Merwe and Louis Rees-Zammit, or they're discussing Price going as a scrum half, maybe they'll just get the edge in some of those arguments and we'll see some more Scots on the tour. So that would be certainly great for Scotland fans and well deserved for those players. So the other side of this, of course, is if only a few Scots do go, because Gatland gets the final say, Townsend and Tandy, well, particularly Townsend, will get a lot of flack. So it's nervy times for them, even if it's not their call. If some Scots get left out that maybe should have gone in other people's eyes, he's going to get a lot of flack. Point 3. Is it now, again, more likely, because of point 1 and 2, more likely that Russell will go, and also they'll go all in on Russell as their main 10, building a game around him, exactly like Townsend has done. I mean, it's going to be interesting because, Townsend doesn't get on with Russell that well until recently, potentially. It's not exactly like they go hand in glove, but it maybe is slightly more likely because he's got at least got the experience of dealing with him. Point 4. The Lions coaching job isn't the pinnacle of coaching anymore. Now, that is absolutely not to disparage the 4 guys that have been selected by Gatland. I think they're all great coaches, well deserved to go, but they're probably not all his first choice. Tandy, done great for Scotland, but only a year under his belt. I think he wanted Farrell, and we've certainly heard the likes of Farrell, Rowntree and Borthwick may well have turned down the opportunity to go, whether they were first choice or not. Borthwick may have gone as forwards coach, but I think even if Borthwick was first choice, I think Mcbride's a fantastic backup if that is the case. Rowntree, the scrummaging may well have been useful, but he may have fallen foul of them having less coaches potentially. But certainly coaches do turn down the Lions more and more these days. It's not their main focus. Their club or their country is their main focus as their main employer, I guess. So that's an interesting one. Comment below what you think about that. I think Gatland wanted a little bit more continuity from his previous tours. He certainly made a big deal about Neil Jenkins being that continuity guy. And I think he's trying to compensate for actually the lack of continuity he wanted. And finally, point 5, it's a smaller coaching team. And to me, I think that confirms we're going to get a smaller playing group, that 36-man squad after all that we thought. Will that affect call-ups as well? With the bubble, etc., may well be. I know a lot of you are saying it's going to be a very attritional tour in South Africa, but they may well try and make do with the players they have that little bit more. Anyway, guys, love to know what you think about those appointments. Are they good appointments? And what might they mean to the Lions going forward? And I will see you guys next time.